The morning light spilled like honey over the Vale residence, a house that had become both a studio and a shrine. Lena Vale's voice rose softly from behind the camera, smooth and deliberate, the practiced calm of someone who has learned how to sound alive, even when her heart is not. Her morning vlogs were a ritual, tea steaming beside window glass, linen curtains trembling in coastal wind, a sunbeam catching her ash-blonde hair. She smiled for the lens, not for herself but for millions watching, whispering, believing. To them she was serenity personified, but inside, her silence had weight. 6 months of it, shaped like Daniel, shaped like absence. Today's video was titled, "The Warm Light of Habit," and as she filmed unaware, a flicker passed across the frame, a blurred, dark silhouette at the edge of the hall. Unnoticed, yet indelible. Later that morning, Lena records her second take, the one she'll actually post. Her voice floats tender and bright, describing the peace of routine. She speaks of gratitude, warmth, and sunlight, but her eyes keep drifting toward the hallway, the place where she thought she saw movement. She shakes it off. To her audience, perfection is faith, and faith must never tremble. She edits her footage, trimming silence, adding cheerful background music, smoothing over pauses where her mind had wandered. Every frame is a choice, to erase hesitation, to hide ache. Outside, the sea roars softly. She thinks of Daniel, the man who taught her that every cut is an act of control. Control over truth, control over what survives. Afternoon fades. The house grows too quiet. The golden light shifts to gray. She wanders the living room, barefoot, camera still rolling as if the lens were a companion. In the silence, a floorboard creaks. She turns, heartbeat tightening. Nothing moves, only the echo of her own breath. But grief, she realizes, sounds a lot like someone walking away. Night falls. Lena uploads the vlog, titles it Morning Light, Day 184. Comments flood in within minutes, thousands of hearts, praise, and devotion. She scrolls until one freezes her hand. Who's the man in the hallway? Her breath stutters. She replays the footage. The frame flashes by. There, for a heartbeat, Daniel. The past and the present collapsing into one pixel of unbearable truth. Lena barely sleeps. The comment repeats in her head. Who's the man in the hallway? She replays the clip endlessly, frame by frame, every pixel dissected under trembling hands. The world begins to narrow, her days dissolving into light and shadow. The face she built for the world, radiant, calm, now cracks beneath the strain of truth. Morning comes again, but it feels wrong. Her kitchen hums with the faint mechanical breath of appliances, her camera still recording, loyal and merciless. She whispers Daniel's name once, just to hear it out loud. And the silence that follows sounds like memory itself answering back. By afternoon, the internet has already found her mystery. Screenshots spread like wildfire. The blurred man dissected by strangers turned into theories. Lena watches her own life as if she were a character in someone else's dream. She scrolls through comments. Some kind, some cruel, all certain. The faceless crowd tells her what her truth means, what her grief should look like. And for the first time, she feels the cold intimacy of being known by everyone and understood by no one. The wind outside is relentless, pressing against the windows like a presence trying to get in. Lena begins recording another vlog. Her voice tremulous but steady enough to pass. She speaks to her audience about vulnerability, about facing fears, code words for ghosts and guilt. Yet behind her eyes, something shifts. Every sound becomes suspicious. The creak of wood, the static in her mic, the faint echo in her headphones. She stops mid-sentence, staring into the dark hallway again, as if the silence were breathing. Night returns like a tide, thick and electric. Lena downloads the raw footage, magnifies it, slowing it to 1 frame per second. In one moment, there, in the threshold of her living room, she sees Daniel's outline clearer than ever before. The camera doesn't lie, but it doesn't tell the truth either. Her pulse quickens. She whispers, "Daniel, if you can see me," and stops as though the house might answer. Outside, waves crash in perfect rhythm with her heartbeat. The following morning, Nina sits before the camera not as an influencer, but as a woman unraveling. Her vlog begins as usual, warm greeting, serene tone. But her eyes betray her. "Yesterday," she says softly, "I saw something I can't explain." The comment section explodes again, viewers frozen between sympathy and spectacle. But Lena no longer reads them. She stares instead at the lens, her own reflection faint within it, and wonders who's really watching whom. Lena wakes to a world she no longer controls. Her inbox overflows. Her follower count climbs by the second. The frame, that single flicker of a man's silhouette, has made her a global obsession. Every video essay, every headline, every theory now carries her name. Some call it a haunting, others a marketing stunt. None know that she hasn't stepped outside in weeks. She opens her curtains to the pale Oregon light and feels like she's inside her own reflection. The internet has swallowed her, pixel by pixel, leaving only her voice and the echo of Daniel's face, forever flickering between frames. Her manager, Mara, calls repeatedly, urging her to capitalize on the moment. Sponsorships, interviews, opportunities. But Lena can barely speak. Her world feels porous now, her own face alien when she edits. At night, she reads the comments aloud, as though they were prayers. One voice says, "Daniel is alive." Another says she staged it. The rest call her an artist of grief. She wonders if grief can be performed well enough. Does it stop being grief? Days merge into nights. The house hums with static, lights flicker unpredictably. Lena begins speaking directly to Daniel while recording. "If you're out there," she whispers, "give me a sign." Her followers dissect every second. They claim to see movement in mirrors, whispers in background noise. She watches their theories and feels her grief fracturing into content. The camera no longer documents her. It consumes her, inch by inch, until she's unsure whether she's filming or being filmed. When the power cuts out one evening, Lena lights candles and keeps filming. The camera becomes her confessional. She speaks of Daniel's absence, of the first day without him, of the way silence grew louder than his voice ever was. She admits that the frame frightens her, not because he might be alive, but because she might be the one keeping him there. Her words are raw, trembling, half confession, half incantation. When the lights return, the house feels smaller, closer, alive. By morning, the video is everywhere. The candlelight, the confession, the voice trembling on the edge of belief. It becomes her most watched upload. Millions flood her channel, worshipping her sorrow like an aesthetic. They post tributes, theories, remixes. Lena scrolls through them, half horrified, half comforted. The more they see, the less she feels. And then, deep within her analytics, a single anonymous message appears. "You're getting closer." Her breath catches. The timestamp matches the moment Daniel's silhouette appeared. Lena receives an email titled, simply, "I can help you." It's from Caleb Monroe, a documentary filmmaker who claims to specialize in digital phenomena. She hesitates, then replies. Within hours, he arrives. Camera in hand, voice low, eyes sharp with quiet empathy. He studies her home as though it's a living subject. "You film light," he says softly, "but something else has been filming you." Lena feels both fear and recognition. For the first time, someone speaks her language, the language of framing, of ghosts, that hide in exposure. They sit together in silence, reviewing the viral footage on Caleb's monitor. He slows it frame by frame, eyes narrowing as the shadowed figure resolves into shape. "This isn't compression," he murmurs. "It's layered light, a second source." Lena watches the pixelated ghost of her husband materialize in digital haze. The room hums softly. She feels as though the image is breathing. "He used to handle the cameras," she whispers. "He said light could remember us." Caleb glances at her, unsure if she means metaphor or confession. Hours pass in meticulous study. Caleb overlays light readings, contrasts exposure levels, isolates sound frequencies. Lena hovers near him, watching his hands. Steady, disciplined, a reminder of Daniel's once familiar gestures. They find anomalies. A frame recorded at 3:14 a.m., though the metadata says 9:27 a.m., a reflection in the glass that doesn't match Lena's movements. Time itself misaligned. Caleb exhales, muttering, "Someone's editing while you're asleep." Lena laughs softly, hollowly. Then maybe I'm the ghost. Later that night, Caleb asks to record her. Not the vlog persona, but the real Lena. She sits in front of his lens, stripped of script and smile. He asks her about Daniel. Their first meeting, their last argument, the morning he vanished. Her voice breaks only once. "He said I'd never understand the difference between looking and seeing." Caleb lowers the camera. "He was wrong," he says quietly. "You see too much." For a brief moment, she believes him. At midnight, Caleb reviews the day's recordings alone. On playback, something shifts. In the reflection of Lena's eyes, a faint silhouette stands behind her. He pauses the frame, zooms in. It's Daniel. Unmistakably Daniel, captured in the glint of her gaze. He looks toward the dark hallway. It's empty. Yet the camera continues to hum, as if aware of its own witnessing. In another room, Lena dreams of the sea. A figure walking into fog, turning just before vanishing. The next morning, Lena and Caleb return to the editing suite. He has analyzed hundreds of her vlogs, isolating fragments of identical lighting patterns across different months. Impossible consistencies. Daniel's signature style emerges from within them. Camera angles she never used, light gradients only he would have designed. It's as though her missing husband has been quietly filming her life from beyond absence. Lena watches in silence, realization washing over her like frost. She didn't just inherit his cameras, she inherited his gaze. Caleb traces timestamps, discovering footage shot on days Lena swears she never filmed. He plays one. The camera watches her sleeping, slow breaths rising in half-darkness. Her hand twitches as if feeling a phantom touch. She remembers the night Daniel disappeared. The argument, the slammed door, the silence after. She had told herself he left, but now, watching her own sleeping form through his lens, she wonders if he ever really did. Outside, the sky turns the color of tarnished silver. Lena steps into the yard with Caleb's handheld camera, desperate to prove that daylight still belongs to her. She points the lens at herself, describing the morning, the breeze, the smell of rain. But when she plays it back, the footage shows the sun blazing high, a brightness not present when she filmed it. Caleb's voice shakes. "He left you his light," he murmurs, "but it's rewriting yours." Caleb grows obsessed, convinced Daniel left behind a coded sequence within the videos. Lena grows quieter, withdrawn, haunted by a sense that her home itself remembers him better than she does. They begin finding hidden clips, flashes between cuts, Daniel's hands adjusting a lens, his breath on a mic, a whispered word. Exposure. Lena collapses in tears. "He's turning me into his last film." Caleb whispers, or maybe this was always his way of staying. Lena uploads a new vlog titled The False Sun. It's different, fragmented, dreamlike, filled with overlapping shots of her house, the sea, and Daniel's face emerging from light. The world watches in reverence and fear. As she finishes the edit, she stares into her own reflection on the black screen and whispers, "Maybe I never lost him. Maybe I just kept filming the wrong side of the light." Caleb watches her quietly, realizing she has stepped somewhere he cannot follow. Into the place where love becomes image, and image becomes eternity. The sea outside is calm, unnaturally so. Lena wakes before dawn, her phone pulsing with notifications. Her new vlog, The False Sun, has become a global obsession. Caleb urges her to stop, to rest, but she shakes her head. "One more video," she says, "live this time. No edits, just truth." Her voice sounds detached, as though borrowed. Caleb hesitates. Once it's live, there's no undo. She replies with a quiet smile. Maybe that's the point. The live stream begins at 7:00 a.m. Lena sits before the camera, speaking softly to millions of unseen faces. She talks of light, of how it records not just images, but emotion, how it remembers the way someone looked at you even after they're gone. Her followers flood the chat with hearts and speculation. Somewhere across the world, Daniel's name trends again. Lena keeps speaking, voice serene, eyes trembling. She doesn't notice the subtle dimming of light behind her, the slow emergence of another form. Midway through the broadcast, a static hum ripples through the audio. The screen flickers. For less than a second, Daniel appears in full clarity, standing behind Lena, eyes calm, lips parted, as if about to speak. Millions of viewers witness it live. The chat erupts in disbelief, terror, awe. Lena turns, slowly, her breath catching. The space behind her is empty. Only the hum of the camera remains, recording both the miracle and the madness. The feed collapses into static. Outside, the sky darkens mid-morning, clouds swallowing the sun. Inside, Lena trembles, whispering Daniel's name into the dead mic. The red live indicator still glows. Millions still watching. Caleb rushes forward, pulling the plug, but the camera keeps recording. The lens adjusts itself, focusing, breathing. Lena looks into it, tears running silently. "If you're there," she murmurs, "show me what I missed." A whisper answers, indistinct yet unmistakable. Her own voice, replayed backwards. When the broadcast finally cuts off, silence floods the world. But the recording continues offline, looping endlessly. Lena frozen mid-turn, Daniel's outline dissolving in light. News anchors debate its authenticity. Skeptics claim GGI. Believers call it proof of the digital afterlife. In her home, Lena sits beside Caleb in near darkness, watching the replay. Her voice is soft, almost prayer-like. He wanted to be remembered. Now he can't leave. Caleb whispers, "Neither can you." Outside, the sea glows faintly, as if reflecting an unseen sun. 3 days pass in silence. The internet continues to dissect the broadcast, but Lena has not appeared since. Caleb remains in the house, surrounded by cables, drives, and humming screens. Every attempt to delete the footage fails. The files return, unchanged, as though resisting erasure. He finds one new folder titled Final. Inside, a single video, time-stamped for tomorrow morning. Lena appears in the thumbnail, eyes open, bathed in dawn, but she hasn't filmed since the live stream. At dawn, the video activates by itself. Lena's voice fills the room, calm, steady, intimate. "If you're watching this, I've already made peace with what I've seen." Her image flickers on screen, sitting by the ocean, sunlight hallowing her. She speaks of light as memory, of love as a recording that never truly ends. Caleb realizes she filmed this before the live stream. It feels less like a goodbye and more like a transference. A handover of authorship from the scene to the seer. Caleb drives to the coast, tracing Lena's steps. Her voice continues in his mind like an echo carried by the tide. He finds her camera set up on the rocks, still recording. Nearby lies her phone, open to a blank recording app, untouched, yet faintly warm. The sea stretches endlessly, and for a moment he thinks he sees her walking along the waterline, her robe trailing behind her, head turned toward the light. Then the wind shifts, and she's gone. Only the camera remains, still facing the sea, capturing nothing and everything. He takes the camera home and plays the final minutes. Lena stands on the shoreline, speaking softly. We think we lose people, but sometimes we just change the way we look at them. As the sun rises, her image fractures, each ray splitting her into a dozen reflections. Daniel appears beside her, smiling gently, his hand reaching through the distortion toward hers. They dissolve into overexposure. White, infinite, inseparable. Caleb lowers his head, whispering a prayer neither for the living nor the dead, but for those who remain visible only through love. Weeks later, the channel remains online, untouched, eternal. The final video is titled The Truth of Light. It shows only a single, uncut shot. The sea at dawn. The camera doesn't move. The audio carries faint wind, the distant cry of gulls. Then, for a heartbeat, a silhouette crosses the frame. Walking toward the water, viewers debate endlessly who it is. Lena, Daniel, or something between. In that ambiguity, the story endures, not as tragedy, but as illumination. Because in every recording, someone is still watching, and in every image, someone still remains.